All right, team, good morning. So we have, today I'm going to be away on Thursday. Next Tuesday is town meeting day, right? So that's off, which is not always off, but it is this year. Okay, so that's off, and then we'll be back on the Thursday, and then there's spring break, right? Okay, so we're going to be here now and then. Anyway, so this is a ridiculous thing. Sort of, but we actually wrote a paper on it as well. I had a student from Parks who, Mark Ibrahim, who did, and Jake Williams worked on this kind of thing too, which is, there's always been this kind of game, right? How do you get from zucchini to, I don't know, Long John Silver, right? So there's sort of a game. Someone says, like, try and navigate from one place to the other. And this is just, I guess this is built, wow. We've seen all these sorts of things, 6 degrees. So you can go in and see all the details, which is nuts. Oh my God, yeah. Right, so there are kind of lots of ways to get between things, and it's not always obvious. So let's find another one. I guess it just updates. It's been an old game, so you can play around with this if you want. No, we did it. I don't know. I'm tempted to put, we shouldn't put anything. Anyway, so it's sort of fun. But, you see the visualization, it's not bad. V for Vendetta goes to nuclear warfare, all this sort of madness. Somehow George Washington, I think? Anyway, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, that's good. So the thing is with this, it is just links that are internal to it. And what we did was the first link within a page. You have to strip off all the extra bits, but the first link, because it's probably meaningful. So there's an old notion that, it's been around for a little while now, I suppose, that if you click on the first link of any page, you end up at philosophy, which is pretty true, actually, right? And we found that you got to, at least for the version the instance of Wikipedia we had, you got to philosophy, and then you went around a little cycle that just went around, and it had reality, experience, a couple other things. It was like 5 things. So it was like the river network stuff we did. I mean, it was basically the same idea. Like, so there's a basin of attraction was this little thing about running around the middle. And it just sort of went more and more elevated. There are a couple of little cycles floating around. Some were like time ones or saints or something in orders, and then they just looped. So there was little hermetically sealed pieces, but mostly things just lifted. Anyway, so, but in there is a much deeper thing, I think, about the structure of knowledge, right? So we kind of touched on that, but it's not, and others have done things. There's been a lot of work on editors, looking at how editors behave, so they have a skewed distribution of activity, right? There's sort of a kernel, there's core editors, and then ones that do tiny pieces. And then people will talk about that because it's an interesting kind of, it's supposed to be everyone is equal and do everything, but of course that's not what emerges. This is from David Lazar, who's a terrific character at Northeastern. He's in political science, but he's part of the Network Institute there, which is Barabazi and Vespaniani and these characters. Other people we should know, but some of our students are certainly, right, so have ended up there. Mike Foley and Ryan Gallagher are PhD students there now. Anyway, so this is a paper they just put out, and it's an interesting one. It's about diffusion, and this is, I think, from what I understood, it's little coupons, right? So they gave out coupons to people, and then you could kind of look for them online. Told people about these coupons. People could post them. So let's get rid of that. Anyway, so he's got a nice little thread here, and then the question is, once you can see what happens, right? Things taking off are always pretty much exponential growth if they take off. And then if they really saturate, you'll get a sigmoid curve, right? And that happens all over the place. But they found this linear growth of this thing, and it's to do with the fact that people are searching for it, and that turned it into a different. So this is a very surprising kind of finding for a spread. This is how much of how much of this thing has been adopted. It didn't take off like this, and it's the big story at the end is Google is sort of, the thing is you have to all go through Google, and that stops it from from people from discovering it and spreading it in a bigger way. It's a bit odd. The little lumps there are diurnal. It's just the day. Yeah. Anyway. So that's an interesting paper. If you're interested in spreading, there's just so much on spreading. We talk about it here. We will talk about it. Yeah, that's his thing. Oh yeah, when you share things, if you ever get to share things, right? So you should always get rid of the, see that? Find the question mark, basically, search for that, and then go get rid of that. Because it's always full of sneaky little bits telling someone what you did, right? I think. I always like to do it. See? Look, it's got me, see, it says UVM, right? It says where it was from. Wow. I mean, this has been true for years, right? I mean, this is, let's see, yeah, the ands. Wow. Wow. Yeah, all right. Interesting, I thought. Interesting, okay. Let's get rid of that. Okay, good. Roundup of tweets. This is a blow. I'm telling you random things right now. This is a blow. We'll get to generating functions. This is, if you can see this is the temperature for this year at the North Pole. It's averaged over the top from 80 degrees up, right? So we've seen a lot of these plots in the last few years, but this is averaged over, of course, many years, and you can see that that's the average, and there's some, background ones, and that's the blob at the top that's averaged over. So this is not great, and you can see this is Celsius, right? So this is 0. So there's several months where it gets above freezing, but there have been a couple of days where it's been at or about freezing for the North Pole. There isn't actually a thermometer sitting there. We have to kind of estimate that one. So it's all fake news, right?
How long do you think for someone such a conspiracy theory that polar bears never actually existed?
Surely that exists. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to say, I'm guessing. I'm sure it exists, yeah. I wanted to play, this is the Olympics are over, but this is a ridiculous bit of a podcast of Olympic events, including like polar bear rodeo. And some Norwegians got in trouble for polarizing a sloth by painting it with white, It's a very funny little, so there's he also has bobsled biathlon. We have a rear gunner, on the bobsled. It's not a great sport if a bowling ball could beat you just by being dropped into the, Anyway, all right, luge. Yeah, so that's it. That's not great. It's a little hot on the top. And also came up with a new word which gets 0 likes, but it's karma dramocracy. Kaka dramocracy. Kaka meaning pooch, and drama meaning show, shall we say, right? There's kakistocracy, right? Kakistocracy is a good word, which is a government run by the worst people. Yeah, it's an old word because we've had to make that one up, Okay, there's some crassness in this one, but this is a really choice little joke. So Yoda, marijuana, right? And then, oh God, yes, it's going to be such an amazing wedding, and there's some swearing here, but it's long drag, oops. But it's wanna marry, because Yoda, right? So that's one of those ones where you see some people in the comments later on, they're like, oh! Anyway, that was good. Marijuana, oh my, why do they do, why? It's great. That's good. Yeah, that's good. All right. So I realized I was swearing there, but that seems impossible to avoid. Okay.